Last time on Megaman Zero, we spanked the evil mechanical monkey. This time, we finally enter the first of the final 3 stages, the Arcadian Shrine. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is the background of this beautiful little sanctuary, and that it's not completely blown the fuck up like all the other levels that we've been into. Now, while we farm some enemies here so we get a high enough enemy kill count at the end of the mission, I will explain why. That is because Neo Arcadia is the last inhabited city, shall we say. Major city, anyways. Aside from the rebels, but who counts those anyway? Apparently, the rest of the Earth has been turned into a giant wasteland by the Elf Wars, which we haven't gotten into that yet, but we will later on in the second and third games, so not too much on that right now. Anyway, once you farm enough enemy kills there, you can finally enter that little building, and if you're good enough at dodging, you won't get the shit shocked out of you by those little spinning things. Now, what makes this level pretty annoying is that while there aren't many pits around, you have to do a lot of climbing, which most of the time, if you fall down, it's not going to result in your death, but rather you have to go through half the level again. Here's our first sub-boss, the Pantheon Aces, which, as they look like, they're basically just souped-up versions of the Pantheon Flyers, and they're not too hard to deal with. They'll alternate firing at you. One will fire, and then the other one will. Their pattern for flying around the little platforms isn't too hard. Most of the time, they just fly around in a big oval, but every now and then they'll go Circle 8 on you. And since we collected our first Cyber Elf, I may as well explain a little bit of that. There are 9 altogether in this level, which only 3 you have to collect, and the 3 that you have to collect are so easy because they come from the sub-boss and the 2 actual bosses of the level. Now, this level is different from all the others in that it has 2 bosses, and here we are already at the first one. Now, he's a bit more of an asshole than the Pantheon Flyers that we faced just a minute ago, as you can see from him hitting me multiple times there. Now, his name is Asura of Sura, and those of you that followed my Muzia Let's Play will know that Asura is one of the guardian god thingies that you can summon to help you. Well, he has 4 attacks here. He's based off the Buddhist god, by the way, Asura, in case, for those of you out there that like those minor cultural references. Anyway, he has 3 attacks. He can spin like a top, and that's his EX skill right there, where it juggles his little swords. Not too bad. He's weak to the Thunder Chip, so that makes the battle a lot easier than those single slashes that I was using. But with him out of the way, we can collect our second Cyber Elf and move on to the final part of the level. Now, this area is probably the most annoying in this stage, for a simple reason that you will see in just a little bit, if we can ever make it past these stupid turtles. I hate those fucking things, man. And there you go, there is the reason. Disappearing and reappearing platforms with a twist. They actually fire a buster shot down below them every time they reappear, giving you an added challenge that the Mega Man Zero games are so well known for. Now, once you get their pattern down, like, well, any other game I guess, it's not too bad, but you kind of have to be careful, because if you fall down, then you have to start all over again with the respawn turtles, and that's never any good. But here we are at the final boss. His name is Herculeus Ancortus, which, try saying that shit 3 times fast, you know? I mean, I love how they come up with these elaborate names for these assholes that play little to no part in the story whatsoever. I mean, for fuck's sake, just calling something simple like Electric Beetle or some shit, you know? I mean, come on, why complicate the shit? Anyways, he's a flunky of Harpuya, which means that he uses electrical attacks and is vulnerable to the Ice Chip, which it's much quicker if you just single slash his ass instead of using the Ice Chip, so stick with that. Now, he used all of his attacks here except for his EX skill, which is where he'll jump into the center of the screen, he'll extend his 4 little antennae into an X shape, and he'll fire off 4 buster shots at you. It's easy to avoid as long as you're not stuck on a wall, and you have room to dash. Now, I might upload a video showing off the EX skills of the bosses that never use them for some reason, like this guy in Old Maha, the giant elephant dude. Anyways, once you've beaten him, collect the Cyber Elf, and in the next room you have 2 choices. You can either enter the door to the right and continue with the next mission, or you can go back to the base, which, if you're collecting the Cyber Elves like we are, you need to go back to the base, and then use the transserver to return to the start of the Neo Arcadian Shrine. So let's get that shit over with, shall we? Wow, would have been a perfect score if it hadn't been for those fucking turtles. I hate mechanical missile belching turtles. Hate him. Hate him with a passion. Anywho, back at the base, once we're finished getting debriefed by Seal, ha ha, we can head back to the start of the shrine level and begin the final Great Cyber Elf Hunt. Catchy little title, don't you think? Might make a good movie. Now, all of the cyber elves that are in containers are on top of the roofs of the pagodas that we've been through, and except for the first pair, it's hard as hell to actually get up there to them. Not to mention, you're doing all this jumping shit at pretty much the highest point of each area that you go into, which means that if you fall down, you have to start that shit all over again. Major bummer. Believe me, I know. Now, remember much earlier in this LP when I said that we needed the triple rod to get a couple of the cyber elves? Well, this is that time. See those little round helicopter cannon thingies? Yeah, we have to pogo our way over 3 of those little bastards to get to the roof of the building where we fought the Pantheon Aces. Now, it's a pretty tough first jump, as the enemy has to be at just the right spot, or else you'll smack into his side, fall down, and have to start all over, so it'll probably take a couple of tries before you actually get over there. Don't despair. Now comes what can be the second hardest elf to get in the game. Now there are 2 ways you can get this little bastard. Option A, you can jump off the wall and try to land on the platform, but that requires pixel-perfect jumping skills. Option B is a lot easier. Simply charge up your buster, and as you're falling down, shoot the cyber elf container. If you manage to hit the damn thing and bust it open, then the elf will eventually float all the way down to you. Now it takes a good minute or 2 for the damn thing to float down there, but it's probably the overall easiest way to get the little fucker. And for the final elf, you have to reach the highest disappearing block. Oh goody! And once you're on top of that, dash jump to the left and you should wind up on a moving platform. Of course, when the platform has moved all the way to the left, as far left as it can, dash jump and you should wind up on top of the building where you fought Asura. And you can claim the last elf of this bastard of a level. Which is great, because this is actually the last major elf farming that we have to do in the game. Yay! Anyways, next time on Let's Play Mega Man Zero, we boldly go where no Reploid has gone before, as we climb the Neo-Arcadian Tower.
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
All right, you're great, zombie.
I like turtles. I like turtles. I like turtles. Turtles.